When you get gigging jazz musicians here at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, after a gig on a Saturday night, you have grace and flexibility. And, you know, one of the things I love about our congregation is last week we made a joyful noise with cowbell, and there was a cowbell hanging on my door yesterday from someone, love your heart. And this week we made a joyful noise with kazoo. That is in Scripture somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Make a joyful noise, all you people, with cowbell and kazoo. And there you will find a picture of Community Christian Church. Speaking of pictures, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Marty. This is my friend Marty. Marty's been on my mind a lot over the last month, because just as we heard in our scripture this morning that the Israelites had been walking for a month, my friend Marty has been walking for a month. Marty is out walking a long and difficult journey. She is walking the Camino de Santiago. Are you familiar with this? Camino de Santiago, the way of St. James. You can see by the sign that Marty found on her second day that it's about 800 kilometers of walking. Now, Americans, how far is 800 kilometers? 500 miles. It's about 500 miles, give or take, a little bit. I had to Google it. Some of you actually can do that in your head. But so how far is that? How far is about 500 miles? How far? Go ahead. It's okay. You can answer. Well, St. Louis and back. Somebody said that at 8:30. Somebody at 8:30 also said it is across Kansas. That's about right. It's about 600 miles to Denver. Or if you want to go south down I-35, you can get about Dallas-Fort Worth, depending on where in Dallas-Fort Worth you want to be. So did you bring your walking shoes? I am not walking in these shoes. And according to Facebook, my friend Marty has about 10 days more to walk. She started May 10th. Let me show you on the map how far she's been walking. It's basically across the northern part of Spain. If you look on that far right side, that's basically where she started, up about the C in the word that's running diagonal. And she's walking all the way nearly to the western coast of Spain. Pilgrims have been making this journey for centuries. Legend has it that St. James, James the son of Zebedee, if you're reading your New Testament, was martyred in about 44 AD. And James the son of Zebedee, his body was taken from Jerusalem to Compostela on the western coast of Spain, hence the pilgrims. But in this day and age, why on earth would somebody go out walking somewhere between 11 and 18 miles a day for 6 weeks? Some of you are shaking your head because you don't know. Now, we know why the Israelites were walking. According to Scripture, they were escaping slavery. And here's their little road map that they took walking. They were escaping slavery of Pharaoh under the guidance of Moses. The horrible conditions that they found under Pharaoh's rule. Moses led them out onto this journey, and they complained about it for 40 years. They complained even when God constantly gave them signs. Pillars of cloud by day, pillars of fire by night. Neither ever left them, Scripture says. God delivered them safely across the Red Sea. God made bitter water sweet. God provided manna to eat each and every day. And they complained for 40 years. It seems to me that these Israelites we read in this book of Exodus, they were not great travelers. They're a bit like a 3-year-old in the back of the minivan on a road trip. Are we there yet, Dad? Mom, you got any snacks? Dad, I gotta pee. Are we there yet? Every 10 minutes. Are we there yet? I was reading an article the other day about the difference between travelers and tourists. And I think my friend Marty is a traveler, and these Israelite children of which we read in Exodus are tourists. Let me explain why. The article explains that the word traveler has for its Latin root travail, right? Travail. It means trouble, work, even torment. Walking across northern Spain is all of those things. You have to take risks when you're a traveler. You have to learn the local customs and eat whatever is in front of you. There are unplanned experiences, and the travelers tend to skip the souvenir shops and head straight for the local joints. Tourists, on the other hand, tourist is from the Latin root tornus. Tornus. And this is my new favorite. You know what tornus literally means? One who walks in circles. Circles. One who goes in circles. These are the pleasure seekers. These are the ones who want to find the McDonald's wherever they are, or a Subway, or a Chili's. Now, sometimes a combination of being traveler and tourist is important. Because if you've been sleeping, as some of you well know, under a mosquito net or wherever you're sleeping in the jungle of Jamaica, it's kind of nice to get to the resort, sleep for a couple days in a real bed in an air-conditioned room with a margarita. That's what they tell me anyway. Which of these would you choose? And be careful about what you say you might choose. But which of them are you actually? And which one do you want to be? Because when it comes to our relationships with God, this story from the book of Exodus reminds us that there is risk in following God. But God is our ever-present travel guide, not a tour guide, our travel guide. This story from Exodus reminds us that there will be unplanned experiences. But what will we do when those unplanned experiences emerge? When the travail happens, when the work and torment happen in life as we travel the road of faith, will we complain? Will we want to turn back? Or will we ask, where is God in this, and what do we have to learn as we push forward, stretching, growing into who God is calling us to be? I think my friend Marty, the blisters on all 10 toes remind her that she can do hard things, that the walking in the cold and the rain for 11 straight miles assure her of her strength and her grit and her determination. I don't honestly know what all she's learning out there, and I probably won't ever know. But I know that when we open ourselves up, and I think maybe our Jamaica Partners folks might say this is true, when we open ourselves up to something new, something that challenges us a little bit, something that is beyond what we think we can do on our own, we grow. And we grow towards God. we become a little bit more of who God is calling us to be, both as individuals and collectively as a community, when we choose to be travelers. There's a movie about the Camino de Santiago, and it's called The Way. And I love this movie. I've seen it so many times, and it has so much to say about the way of life and the way of faith and striving to live life fuller as a traveler with God. And I want to play you just a really brief clip from this movie, The Way, with Martin Sheen.
You should fly with me. Come on, a father-son trip. It'll be fun.
Yeah, right.
You know, most people don't have the luxury of just picking up and leaving it all behind, Daniel.
We agreed that if I let you take me to the airport, you wouldn't lecture me about how I'm ruining my life.
I lied. Hello.
Are you the father of Daniel Avery?
He was walking the road to Santiago de Compostela, 800 kilometers on the northwestern coast of Spain. This is everything he had when we found him. People have walked the path for over 1,000 years. The way is a very personal journey, Mr. Avery.
Daniel was my only child. We're gonna walk the Camino de Santiago, both of us.
Tom, this is the way.
Hi, I'm Joost. There's no mystery why I'm doing this trick. Oh, look at cheesemakers. Hola. Hey, don't wait. Yeah, you should try some.
No, thanks.
Tom! Come with me! Wait, I'm from Amsterdam.
That's huh?
What are you looking to score?
I love this guy.
It wears off quick, I promise.
Hello, I'm Jack from Ireland.
How long have you been out here?
On the Camino or on this particular spot?
You pick.
Well, geez, it's hard to say.
So what is it, on pilgrimage to change your life?
Something like that.
That box with the ashes.
My son.
That's brilliant. I mean, tragic, of course, but brilliant.
Oh, no!
Tom, your son. I am so sorry. I had no idea.
My son was almost 40.
Yeah, but he'll always be your baby.
What was your son like?
Smart, confident, stubborn, pissed me off a lot. Was a lot like you. Hey, that kid took my bag.
Hey! Hey! You can keep the pack! Just give me the box!
You don't choose a life, Dad. You live one.
What, you can do this on a bike? Why the hell are we walking?
My favorite line from that movie is when the son says to his dad, "Dad, you don't choose a life, you live one." Because more often than not, we will choose the safe and the comfortable. We will choose the familiar, even if it enslaves us, like the Israelites. And like Tom in the movie, Martin Sheen, we don't always know why we are on the road we are on. We don't expect to be there. We're not quite sure how we got there, and we're not prepared. We don't even know which road we're supposed to be on. He gets lost 2 separate times before he even gets out of town. And we want to walk solo and be self-sufficient, but we discover that it's better when we open ourselves up to all those places and people placed in our path, and what we can learn when we allow them to walk alongside of us. And at the end of the movie, when they get to the western coast of Spain and the journey is over, the screen fades to black. And if you were in the movie theater, you'd probably gather your purse and start to get up until Martin Sheen reappears on the screen with the pack in India, in a market, Because it seems that throughout this movie, the character of Tom discovers that there isn't really a destination on this journey. There are just pit stops in between the walking. I could go on. I love this movie, and I could go on, but I'll conclude because Mary Oliver, the beloved poet Mary Oliver, says this better than I ever could. She says, "When it's all over, I want to say all my life I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world." My friends, may together we be grateful every day to be walking this journey of faith, travelers together, even in the moments when we look around and say, "Are we there yet?" May it be so. May it be so for us.